Good morning, everyone. Ho ho, not morning where you're at. That's okay, because you can have eggs for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Welcome to episode, wait for it, 60 of Three Eggs Are Better Than One. I am Brad Stanton, along with fellow eggs Matt M and Brian Haremza. Thank you all for the positive feedback for last week. It was another week of Matt's dislikes. He's got many, he's got more to come. If this is your first time listening or watching the show, we do a thing called Sunny Side Up. It's our good news of the week. And this week, Bryant, you have the honor of going first.
My sunny side up's also going to make me sound kind of like a jerk a little bit. I'll be honest.
Hmm.
Um, this weekend, as you're listening to this, it would have been the past weekend here. Uh, Sue has decided that we were going to go visit her mom. And for some reason, Sue has now decided that she's going to go by herself. She wants to take her mom out, go have some fun with her mom. So sunny side up for me is I get to be home by myself for a weekend for the first time in a very, very, very long time. I love my wife. Wanted to stress that. Love my wife. But sometimes you just need to be by yourself for a little bit and have the run of the house, do what you want, um, and just enjoy the things that sometimes you don't want to do when your wife is home. So, I can cook the things I like is the main thing I'm going to go for here because my wife does not like seafood. And I love shrimp. So I'm going to make a lot of shrimp dishes for a couple days. But sunny side up for me is I guess I'm a bad husband, but I'm going to enjoy some time by myself.
Shrimp
And
for days,
and
huh?
it's and the it's a divisional playoff weekend in the NFL. Beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like that might have played a little hand in it. As I told her that Saturday, my plan was to just watch the Bronco game and just hopefully not, scream and throw stuff at the TV too much. So that might have played a factor in this, I'm guessing. So,
So Sue goes away 6 times a year for me, like for work. So like she just left and came back, and it was the beginning of January. I'm not happy about it anymore. I'm good for one day, and it's really inconvenient after that.
mhm. And like for me, and is she gone like from like Friday? Is it just Saturday, Sunday, or is she
She
gone like
let,
a
well,
full weekend?
it changes. This one was Sunday, came back Wednesday late. When I say late, I
Mm,
mean like 11, 12 o'clock at night on Wednesday. So I have like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and pretty much Wednesday, and I'm working. And there's stuff that needs done around here that usually gets done.
yep, get that.
And I don't watch the shows without her. I'm just watching wrestling, and boy, after a while, I'm kind of done with that.
I get that. See, I have one trip every year where I work the state wrestling tournament, which will be coming up here soon. And that's usually the one weekend she always looks forward to because then to her, it's I'm out of the house and she gets the run of the house. So, um, and then she always says that's when she gets everything done. So I don't know.
Hey, listen, we all like a little bit of alone time, but then for me, it gets to be a little too much. But good for you.
I
Good
understand.
for
Yeah.
you. Sunny
Yeah,
side up to you.
exactly.
So for me, this is work related. Recently celebrated my first year anniversary at Cadillac. I went into this kicking and screaming. Really, I did. It's the same company. I've talked about it several times, and they moved me from one of just one store to the next, another with a completely different job, completely different way of doing things. And I remember the second day of it thinking, oh gosh, what have I done? I just want to go back to what I've done. Well, I have to say, it was the most fun I've had in the business, and I have been doing this since 2001. So I am very happy that, listen, I'd rather be a millionaire and be at home and do nothing. Don't get me wrong. I still would rather not work. But if I have to work, I would say this is pretty good. So, one year for me, and yeah, enjoying myself again. So that's good.
It's nice to hear because you were fretting for sure.
Oh, well, I don't like change. No, I mean, most of us don't, right? And this was a major change. But
Yeah.
all right, madam, give us a smattering, if you will.
Mattering incoming, or a mattering, if you will.
Oh, man.
First of all,
Uh,
forgive me, my voice is a little shot. I've mentioned in the past this certain inhaler that I sometimes take knocks around my vocal cords. So apologies because all you really need from this is my voice, and I can't do it. So first, I want to give a shout out to some of our listeners. First being my mother-in-law, Jackie. Apparently, she listens to the show, which just blows my mind. I don't know why she would. So, if Grammy's listening, hello, and thank you for being our listener.
Hello, thank you.
Also, want to give out a shout out to Kevin, a newer listener he's always texting me and commenting and having a good time with the show. And we've mentioned Devin plenty of times, but I want to acknowledge oftentimes he handwrites some notes in response to what we discuss, and we have a little side chat about it. And it's very enjoyable. It's nice to know that people are indulging in what we do. So thank you for that.
Yes, thank you.
Now for the bad news. I don't know if you guys are even aware, but for the first time ever, the Golden Globe Awards, which just happened this past weekend or 2 weekends ago, gave out an award for the best podcast. And I am sorry to say that we did not win.
No, we did not.
Three eggs are better than one did not win. Amy Poehler's podcast won. So if we had to lose, I'm glad it was to Amy.
Yes.
But guys, we'll be back next year. Maybe we can win the second time. Here's a true sunny side up. So Lowe's, once a month they have this kids thing where you can bring your child and they give them this free little building project and sometimes a little hard hat and some tools and an apron and you can assemble little thingamajigs usually related to what the season is, a Christmas thing or whatever. They've recently expanded this program to the Lowe's Kids Club, and they just had their inaugural day of that. And they were giving away stuff to the adults, the children and adults. And they were giving away like scratch offs when you could win like My Lowe's money. They want people in the store. And I figure, okay, you're going to win like try again next time or $5. $100.
Yes.
$100 and a 20% off, on your next visit.
Very nice.
So, I mean, that's very useful at a place like Lowe's. I mean, even if I don't need some $100 item, I can go stock up on something that we go through.
Yeah, there's plenty
Very
of stuff there you
exciting.
need. Yeah, very good.
Very exciting. Sunny side up on that. And finally, we have to acknowledge recently expired egg, Bob Weir, founding member of the legendary American improvisational rock band, the Grateful Dead. Um, Most people would probably acknowledge Jerry Garcia and Phil Lesh and Bob Weir as the three central figures. The other two have, of course, passed. Jerry many, many years ago. And Bob was kind of the last one hanging in there. These guys are the definitions of play till you're dead. I just want to mention, after Jerry passed, they did continue in various iterations over the years. Sometimes they were called the Other Ones, the Dead, Further, and then most recently Dead and Company, which played many times with John Mayer, and they also had multiple residencies at the Sphere in Vegas. I actually was fortunate enough to see the Other Ones back in 2002. I certainly didn't see Jerry. He passed away in 95. And the last thing I want to say is Bob is known to be one of the most prolific touring musicians on record. There's no way of having an exact figure, but they estimate he's played between 4,000 and 5,000 concerts, which is just way, way, way above average. To look at the other end of the spectrum, Eminem, one of the most successful recording artists of all time, has played about 300 concerts in his life. Isn't that
Yeah.
insane?
Yeah. That is putting it in perspective for sure.
Yeah. So, Bob, thank you, and may he rest in peace.
Very nice. One comment I would like to also shout out. You mentioned your mother-in-law. My father listens to the show every or watches the show when he can, most weeks. And my mother called me on Tuesday and said that we all look really good and that she enjoyed it. She's not listening to all of it or watching all of it, but I was happy to hear that. She said we sound good and shout
Yeah.
out to mom and dad. So thank you for that.
With this rabid following we have, how did we not win the Golden Globe?
I
I
know.
mean, I
It's
mean, I
insane.
mean, I've been just we should have at least been nominated.
Yeah.
Oh, and Matt, one battle after another, one best picture.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Golden Globe one, yeah.
Yeah.
It sure did.
So there you go. We talked about that little egg white for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And brings us to hard boiled. I got four things. Two of them are which are egg whites. Last week I mentioned my sunny side up was that I got a free koozie from at the local distributor that I was at because of the serve size I bought. Now let's keep in mind I bought 12 packs. Now, I got one koozie for 3 12 packs. Well, guess what? Sue was there the week before, bought one 12 pack and got two koozies. I just can't win. I just can't win.
Is there
I
no
can't.
end to the
I
Surfside drama?
So I paid 3 times the amount and got one koozie. You paid one third of what I paid and got two koozies. Unacceptable. I didn't even
Perfect.
get to pick the color. The more I think about it, who drinks orange? I mean, a lot of people do, I guess. But anyway, second egg white was I remember talking about how the school district in my area changed their times. So the high school now goes to school a little later, and they're there at the Dunkin' Donuts I go to at 8 o'clock. Like, and that's kind of when I'm going. Like between 10 to 8 and 8 is when I'm there. Well, this week I ordered it on a Monday, and I make a right, and then I actually didn't make the right because I saw that it was so backed up that I didn't even go, and I had already ordered it. So I said, this isn't worth it. So my coffee sat there unclaimed because it was too much. It was too much for me to wait. It could have been 15, 20 minutes. I don't have 15 or 20 minutes. This $3 coffee is not worth it to me. I'm turning around and going away.
Hey,
I'll figure something else out.
why not just go inside and get it?
I can't get there. I can't make a right out of my
Ah, okay.
section. It is backed up. It is backed up like a quarter mile. Something is going on. Something was wrong. This is a broken system. A broken system. It used to be they went to school. They were in school by 7:03. I know that because my kids did it. Now they're there. It's 8:03, and it's messing me up. And yeah, there's just a contribution. I hope somebody drank it. I at least hope somebody drank it. I hope there's another Brad S out there that just said, "Oh, well, maybe this is for me. Who knows?"
Could you imagine if this Duncan started selling Surfsides? Whew.
Mm.
So I went to the dentist today, and it's just not never a good experience for me. I don't enjoy the dentist. It's never comfortable. It's not even the pain part of it. If you have some kind of problems with your teeth, it's my mouth open and blowing that air in there, and my lips chapping, and like I hate it. I do. I hate it. So they finish up. They fix the cavity, believe it or not, on in the moment, which I was impressed with. But she says to me when we're done, "You really need to start flossing." Son of a bitch, I floss excessively. I floss in the morning. I floss when I brush my teeth later in the day, and I may floss one time in between. I floss 2+ times a day, and this woman's telling me I need to start flossing. What am I doing wrong? I go, no, 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 no. I floss. I promise you I floss. The dental hygienist is laughing at this. I go, I floss. You need to tell me what I'm doing wrong, that I'm not flossing properly, because you just floss my teeth, which I think's weird. It's very weird that they're flossing my teeth. Haha, Matt. Haha.
It is weird that they floss your teeth. I do not enjoy that.
No, I actually that was my favorite part, but it was no better than what I did. It's no different than what I do. So apparently just have teeth that they give no indication that I floss. I floss too much. I think we talked about this.
Wait, hold on one second.
Finally,
Hold on one second
finally,
here.
what?
How often are you brushing your teeth here? You just said
Twice.
something twice. How you said because you do it in the mid? Do you do it mid afternoon too? Like what?
It could be evening. It depends. Just depends on where I'm at in the day. If I'm working 11 hours, probably not. I probably do it in the evening. If I try to do it after dinner or something like that. Depends on what I have.
Okay,
But then I floss sometimes too because I get, I don't like anything caught in my teeth. I don't.
I get that. I get that. Okay.
Finally, the Eagles lost. We all know that. I bought. I went to a sandwich. The local. It's a place in the area that sells hoagies and submarine sandwiches, heroes, whatever you call them in your area. Okay, and I ordered it. I go in. I usually order online, and I order directly from the site. It's not like the Chow or anything like that. I order directly from the site, and it's down. Okay, I'm at the gym at the time, and it's down. Now I could call, but I decided I'm just going to stop there on the way home and then order it for later in the day. So I stop in because it's on my way, and I go in and I go to the counter. Guys, you here to pick something up? I said, no, no, actually, I'm going to order. I'm going to place an order, but it's going to be for 3:30. He goes, 3:30. He goes, you don't have to do that. You could have called. I go, I get that. I go, but I was in the area, and I thought I would do it now. He goes, all right. Well, what is it? What do you need? I said, okay. I would like half an Italian, and I would like a half an old Italian. He goes, old Italian. What the hell's that? I go, the old Italian. He goes, you mean the South Philly? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever you call it. Yeah, the South Philly sounds good. He goes, that's not even really a hoagie. I go, okay. He goes, there's not even lettuce and tomato on it. I go, I got it, whatever. That's what I want. What the fuck is going on here? Why are you arguing with me? Like, what? I don't care. It's in the sandwich section. I'm sorry I called it a hoagie. I'm sorry I showed up at this off time and screwed up your entire day. I just want to order something for later. I'm sorry I didn't call. By the way, they took calls while I was there, and they were very mean to people they were talking to on the phone too as well. So then he puts the order in and he tells the guys, he goes, by the way, folks, that's not an order for now. That's for 3:30. What an asshole. What a complete asshole. I was
It's
so mad.
it's been a while since you've had a true Larry David experience, and this is one of them.
I come back later. They're all too busy for anything now because the Eagles game's on in about an hour. And now the orders are really coming in. God forbid I got things ahead of time, right? And he's yelling at somebody else on the other side of the counter. He's not just down there. But the guy just wants to order a sandwich. He didn't want him to order it. Hard boiled. How about some customer service? Hard boiled. That's all I
Tell me
got.
you left the sandwiches.
No, I ate sandwich.
Ah,
I was gonna ask you why such an unusual time, but it was based around the football schedule.
So yeah, the game was at 4:20. I went and got him at 4:30. I'm gonna bring him home. We're gonna cut him up and just get everything ready, and then put the drinks in the cooler and go. We're going to a friend's house. It is an odd time, but I've been there at the 4:15 time during the Eagles playoff game, and you can get stuck there for quite a while. That place, fills up. It's a popular place in the area. I mean, that's why they're assholes to you because apparently they can be.
good to know.
All right, guys, that was fun. Real fun. Leftover eggs. And what is leftover eggs? Stuff that probably shouldn't be around anymore, right? I don't remember.
I think it's
Overstayed its welcome.
overstated
is welcome. Okay, so same idea.
overstated.
Yeah.
So let's start with you, Matt.
Yeah, overused. So I like this term, and I think that it can be very appropriate. But I think it has just been bludgeoned to death, and I don't think people use it appropriately, and I don't want to hear it anymore. The goat. There can't be this many goats. Okay? There's not enough goats, greatest of all time. There's not enough goats for me to hear the word every day. You want to throw it out at Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky? Sure. You're probably not going to get a lot of argument from anybody. You want to throw it on Daniel Day-Lewis even? I might even do that.
What?
But you can't goat every other conversation, every other Facebook post, every other social media. Not everything is the goat. Stop ruining it.
Yeah. Yeah, anything you use in excess is no good, especially, the greatest of all time. I would say Tom Brady's probably the greatest quarterback of all time. I'd say that. Michael Jordan, another good one. Wayne Gretzky. But, it's not everybody can be the GOAT. And there's no
Not,
greatest
not
podcaster of all
everybody,
time either.
not everybody can be the goat.
No, I agree. All right,
That was
well,
it.
that's it.
Yeah.
So I took mine. We're making it real personal. All right. When we started this show, we started jotting down ideas and what this show is going to be, right? And we have egg names for everything. Well, I'm here to say that these topics have overstayed their welcome, and we are no longer going to
Yes!
use them in this
Yes!
show. All right,
Oh, I
let's
have
go.
so many
Matt is so
ideas.
excited.
I have so
Knock
many
on
ideas.
eggs. Knock on eggs. The superstitions. That's out of here. Okay, we
Yes.
don't need that anymore. All right. Age free. Out of character lives. That has run its course.
Yes.
We are done. Breakfast for dinner. Who the hell cares what we're eating? Okay. We're still going to talk about restaurant experiences. That's a different one. But what we're eating, done. And this one never really got off. All right. And you guys it's never really worked. Free range, describing an unseen movie was a god awful idea.
You never did it.
And I never will. And I
No.
never
If
will.
I
we're
still
gonna-
think I did very good on Elf, by the
Okay.
way.
It's
Just
a
throwing it out
terrible
there.
thing. It's a
All right,
terrible, terrible thing.
hang on. Bryant did Elf. I did Top Gun. Before we retire this, and I agree it should be retired, you damn well better do one next
There's
week.
there's no popular movie I haven't seen.
Oh, we'll think of
Oh,
something.
No,
I'll
we
come up
haven't.
with
We're not
something.
going to think of something.
Oh, I got it. I
And now-
got some ideas.
And this one is really peculiar, this last one I'm going to say, because this is what the show was kind of built on. And we did it, I did it a couple times, and I really enjoyed it. But we are no longer going to go down the rabbit hole and talk about what could have been. All right.
Yeah.
We did the Tom Brady fumble. He fumbled instead. and that was fun. And I wrote something very creative. And then I we did how Christmas was born, and or something like that. I don't even remember what it was. And it was combined with Wicked and The Wizard of Oz. It was really all very bizarre. And as enjoyable as I did, that's not what this show is. It's not what this show is.
Yeah,
This show has evolved. So that is also
you're.
a leftover egg, no longer here.
I mean, I've never been more happy with your delivery than right now because I love this so much. You chose the right topics. And you make such a good point because the down the rabbit hole thing was kind of one of our main central ideas for what the show was going to be. We tried it, it was fine, but that is not what the show is.
Hmm.
No.
Good
No, if I want
work.
to do some creative writing, I'll do it on my own.
Good work.
Thank you. All right, Brian, what do you got?
For me, did some online purchases this weekend here or this week here, and overstaying its welcome to me is the additional thing you throw on at the end. Hey, would you like this? Hey, how about this? How about a subscription to this? How about a subscription to this? How about free nights here? If I wanted that, I would have done it while I was in your thing. I would have been out shopping, or I would be on this site going over here and getting these items. Why do I want to book a hotel when I already booked a hotel? Why would I book another one? The add-on, the addition, the I get you have partner sites. I get you have other things you try to tie into your business. I appreciate that. Trying to make a little extra, maybe. If I didn't want it already, don't try to sell it to me at the end, especially after I've made my purchase and then you try to add it to me. Like, what? Go ask me the questions before, not after I've done everything. Just sell me once, and I'm gonna be happy. So overstaying to me is you trying to just continue to sell when I don't really need it.
In the car business, we call that the extended warranty.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I was gonna
But
say, I
here's the
wonder.
thing: what you're selling me goes in with what I'm buying.
Yeah.
What these sites are doing are selling me something that has nothing to do with what I just bought. Like nothing to do with it. Hey, I just bought tickets to this event. How about 90 days on Apple TV?
Oh,
What does
yeah.
that have to
That
do
is
with my
weird, right?
tickets? What does that have to do with my
Uh,
tickets? Hey, here's a $50 gift card to this local grocery store. Again, I just bought tickets to a show and I don't live in your town. Why would I want the grocery store? Like, what are we doing? That doesn't add on to anything. So I
Yeah.
appreciate the pop up thing of it, but nah, overstayed for me.
Yeah, that happens often,
oh
and I
yeah,
don't like it at all.
Mm.
I don't like it. I get it, kind of. You got to sell that undercoating, right, Brad?
Yeah, you do. Yes.
But you know what it makes me think, and like I think whenever I do like you do like a Venmo transaction, they want to hit you with subscribe to this, subscribe. To me, that just says those particular things that they're pushing are not doing well,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and this
Yeah.
is their attempt to get it, get more hooks.
Yeah, and this is maybe a little related, but not like Matt, you wouldn't understand. It's about reading. Um, just kidding. Kindle Unlimited. So I'm getting ready to purchase like like they're offering me that Kindle Unlimited means it's a subscription and you get so many books for free
Hmm.
in a month, and then you pay 14.99 a month after the free subscription, and then it's only on certain books, and it tricks you. It says free with Kindle Unlimited, and it says, oh, by the way, it's really 14.99, and I don't like that either. That really
Yeah.
upsets me because I'm a big reader, Matt.
Yeah.
Huge. You're huge.
Huge. I'm huge. Good job, guys. Good job with the topic. Matt, gave you a layup this week, dude. Egg whites.
Egg whites, follow-ups coming at you. So we all know that there are definitively two grown-ups movies.
Ugh.
But how many Spinal Tap movies are there? Well, I thought two. The one from the 80s and the one from last year. And I get a text midweek from Brad with no context other than it's about Spinal Tap. What about the 1992 release, which was called either A Spinal Tap Reunion or The Return of Spinal Tap? No one knows for sure. Turns out this was just a home video release, which ran less than an hour. So it was a non televised TV special that got a very poor rating.
Yeah.
We are not going to count that as a feature film.
I need to just say the reason I showed you that because I remembered something. That was all that was. It wasn't a rub it in
I
situation.
I am glad that you did. And here is us following it up.
There it is.
My next thing, you know what, Brad? You know
Yeah.
what, Bryant? I am actually done with Surfsides, but not because of the cost and not because of the taste, because I think they taste good, but because the other day I drank two of them in 18 minutes, like it was a glass of water.
Mm, that'll happen. Yep.
And they're like 4% alcohol.
Mhm.
I'm not, this isn't a macho statement or anything. I could probably drink a whole lot of those without putting a real dent into my situation. And that's just waste of calories. So I'm out on Surfsides.
No, 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 no.
You'll
No,
blame
I
it on
don't
the
believe
cat.
this. I don't believe this at all. I don't believe you're out. You may be cutting down, but you're not out. No one's out.
I'm sorry, to blame the calories? What are you doing here? No,
There's
what is
empty
that?
calories in all these
I
small
mean,
beverages
if you're gonna drink
or
alcohol,
in
you want
vodka.
the thing, you want the buzz factor, and that's just it wasn't gonna happen. For every can I drink, I have to pee three times. You know,
Oh, wow. Wow. I love them. Love to hate them.
That too.
and finally, I think at some point on this show we must have discussed bowling. So I'm gonna follow up on the bowling conversation. My mom has recently been going through her collection of things, memorabilia from the family and stuff, and she actually scanned like 9,000 photos, which kudos to her. Like generations worth of photo albums. She found something from this little framed thing commemorating my grandmother and in her senior citizen bowling league, 1997, 1998. She bowled a 240,
Wow.
Oh wow.
which is very high, and according to ChatGPT, means she bowled at least seven strikes.
Hmm.
I'm gonna hold this up to the camera. Oh, this isn't gonna work at all.
This is not gonna work at
Ah, you're
all.
disappearing.
You're disappearing. You're gone.
Woo! All right, I'll post it on social media afterwards. But it's a nice little thing they made her. They had a little celebration. I don't think seniors are bowling 240 all that much. Two more bowling comments. I swear to God, this happened to my grandma. Again, senior citizens bowling league. That's a thing, right? That's a thing. Do you guys know what a 7-10 split is? The
Sure
classic
do.
7-10
Yeah.
split.
I'm a bowler. I used to be.
Okay. So, my grandmother threw her first ball, created a 7-10 split. Now we know that's difficult to pick up the spare because you got to pin all the way on the left and all the way on the right. The gentleman she was playing with teased her like, "Ha, Gloria, you're never getting that 7-10 split." So she was like, "Watch this." She picked up the ball, threw the second ball, and actually connected. It bounced. She successfully earned the 7-10 split, the spare, I mean. She turned around and the guy was dead. He died in between her two throws on her turn.
Am
This
I
is
allowed to laugh? I don't
He
know if I'm allowed
murdered
to
someone
a
laugh.
in
real
between her
story.
throws.
This is
Huh.
a real
This is
story.
not where I thought this was going.
This is a real story.
I'm ready to laugh at your story, and now I'm laughing at the dead man.
I mean, I don't want to. I'm not poking fun at the guy, but what a remarkable time to go in between somebody picking up the spare in that situation. Woo! And finally, me and my wife were together for 7 years before we ever bowled together, which means there was at least a 7 year gap between when I had bowled previously and I bowled a 194 that day. Just goes to show you, bowling ain't always that hard.
Is that your best game ever,
That's my best game ever.
Bryant?
My best game ever is a 215. And I
Nice.
only remember it because I bowled that and my friend I was bowling with bowled a 300 and made me feel
What?
like shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
So my best game ever was a 212. This is years ago, years and years, and I couldn't even come close to that now. I'd probably be in the 140, 50. I don't even know. I don't even know how I would do.
See,
But
that's the thing. That's the thing. You could go bowl a 250 right now.
I never knew how to throw the curve, though.
I never threw the curve
Mhm.
ever.
Bryant did.
I did because I did bowling leagues, so I had to
Yeah.
eventually learn to be competitive, and they
Let
still
me
blew me
ask
out of the water.
let me ask you this. How far does your back leg sweep under the other leg? Well, thank you for listening to my egg whites.
Very good. Very good. Which brings us to the omelet. And instead of doing a down the rabbit hole, like I did in the first two episodes that I was the omelet, we are going to go ahead and do what Brad notices, just simple observations. This could, once again, this could flop. This could be good. I don't know. I don't even know if I find some of this even interesting. Maybe I do. I don't know. But let's start with this. This is controversial. This isn't supposed to be dirty, but this is a common thing is that if you have sex, the next day you're in a really great mood. I'm never in a great mood the next day after having sex. I'm usually up too late. I'm very tired. I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it at the time, but the next day I'm not whistling in the neighborhood and skipping down the road. What is that?
I don't know if it's controversial, but you're probably on the way wrong end of the percentages there.
Are you really that happy the next day? I'm pretty happy that night, but the next day is probably I probably stayed
I
up
feel
too
like
late at
I feel
night.
like it's that night you're happy, but the
Yeah.
next day,
It's always been shown in the movies that everybody's skipping and whistling and having a great day and
Yeah.
everybody knows the guy had sex.
that's
Yeah,
usually a first time hookup, though. Let's
yeah,
also call that there.
I'm usually
Maybe
exhausted.
maybe you should try it doing it earlier in the day.
I have, but then it's the same day. So what's the difference with the next day? Anyway, um, you guys ever have a walking taco?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what it is, if you don't know, Matt, it's like a Dorito bag, and then you have all the fixings and you put it in. What an absolute pain in the ass that is. I'm freaking walking around this party with a spoon, a fork, or whatever you want to use, with the smallest Dorito bag ever, trying to eat this thing, trying to have a conversation. What an absolute pain in the ass. Whose idea was this?
The,
Terrible.
the thumbs down.
Yeah, big thumbs down on that. So recently there was an Everybody Loves Raymond reunion.
Reunion.
I think that was tremendously underpromoted because I didn't know much about it.
It was, and it was like two parts.
Yeah, because it this is crazy to me. Like I like saw it and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was on. And I watch things. So I just wanted to say that I felt it was tremendously underpromoted. And I love that show, by the way. Now I'm gonna probably watch this reunion. I just thought like,
Funny
hey, why?
show.
Yeah, very good. Um, when I was in grade school, I would take my lunch to school sometimes. Sometimes you bought, sometimes you brought your lunch. And I had like a couple sandwiches in a lunchbox. That lunchbox didn't go into a refrigerator. It just sat. And I didn't have one of those little ice packs in there. That was before ice pack. That lunch, that cheese and everything, ham, sat in that lunchbox for a good 5 hours, maybe from the time it was made in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. That's disgusting. What were we thinking? I can't believe we'd all just didn't die of food poisoning. Ah, here we go. This is really going to make me look bad. So, a big movie it was when I was in college was Titanic came out. And I liked the movie so much that when it wasn't a DVD, it was a double VHS tape came out at Walmart. It came out at midnight and I went and bought it at midnight.
Wow.
Wow.
What a
Wow.
complete tool bag.
No.
Who does that? Like I waited in line outside the store for them to open it. Get a life.
Well, I will admit this. I've done that. The midnight release. I've only done it one time in my entire life, though. And it was to go get the movie Super Bad. Because my buddy and I, because it came with a commemorative fake ID for McLovin, and we wanted to make sure we got one. So we went there and we literally stood in the store waiting for them to bring it out. So that way we could just grab a copy and run.
Yeah, I think mine came with a freaking Jack and Rose trading card. Yeah, I'm out. I don't know what I was thinking.
I will also say with that movie though, and it throws me off and it threw me off then, throws me off now if I try to watch it. When you start the second tape, okay, and again, VHS tapes, kids, Google it, you'll figure it out. Looking at you, Devin. When you start the second tape, it's the quiet scene right when he's confronting Rose, and you think the volume isn't working, so you turn the volume up real loud, and then he slaps her, and it always throws me off because then the slap is extra loud. Always
I can't believe how much you know about this.
thought the volume was
What
always
is-
messed up on it. Oh yeah,
What
thought the
is
volume was always
happening?
I
messed
thought
up.
I
on
was
it.
the problem in this.
Yeah, no, it's
You know
me.
that you had it.
It's me. Yeah, still have it.
Can I say something?
Please.
Yeah.
This is explaining a lot because wasn't the central topic of our very first episode about Titanic?
It was. And who was the one who went off the deep end on that? That would be me.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, that's good. I'm glad that I at least have some support there. All right. So this one, I think this is a very obvious observation. How the hell did the people, like people in the 50s, 60s, 70s, not know that cigarettes were bad for you? You're literally inhaling
Yeah.
smoke into your lungs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I always thought that.
I'm not saying you knew it was cancerous, because maybe you don't know what lung cancer is back then or what caused it, but you knew it couldn't be good for you, right?
You
Like,
have to
Yeah.
know.
You
like
had to know.
I just, yeah, it just
Oh,
cracks
we
me up.
didn't know. We just smoked them. We didn't
Yeah,
know.
it seemed like a good habit. Get the
Oh,
hell out.
Yeah.
I didn't know you weren't supposed to lay on the train tracks. They didn't say anything.
It's so stupid. So this goes back to the show Friends, and I know you're not a huge fan, Brian, but Monica was a chef. Chefs work a lot of nights. Well, she sure had a hell of a lot of free time for someone that worked night shift at a restaurant.
They all had tons of free time. They were always together.
But at least like Joey worked in the day, Chandler worked in the day, Ross worked in the day. She should never have been at any event. She worked on time at night. So she had it was Friday, Saturday nights. That's prime time. She had a lot of free time. So recently, the Steelers, this is before they lost in the playoffs, beat the Ravens uh, to to uh, to go into the playoffs, and the Ravens missed a field goal. Now, right before they missed the field goal, I got a notification from ESPN that said, "The North belongs to the Ravens." So
Wow.
that headline came out before the kick, and then 5 seconds later, I got, "The North belongs to the Steelers."
What?
I didn't have time to screenshot it because I didn't know what was happening. I thought I that was crazy to me.
That is
What
crazy.
about so there was a lot of talk about the Cracker Barrel changing its logo and changing
Yes.
its restaurant. Well, I'm coming here to say that my Cracker Barrel still has the same logo. So,
I thought they changed them back.
Yeah, they
oh,
changed it
okay.
back. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
they
that
changed
was
it.
fast.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
too much outrage. So they changed it back. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then I missed that one. Wrestling. I prefer wrestling in a cage or in a ring compared to anywhere else. I do not like wrestling outside the ring.
Hate wrestling outside. Like Falls Count Anywhere. Hate it.
Yeah, I hate it. Hate it. It recently happened. There was a three something of hell
Three
match.
stages of
Three
hell.
stages, but really funny was the first stage was standard match.
Standard match. Yep.
First stage of hell.
Yeah, standard match. Everything's real. Everything's the same. Okay,
Yeah.
good job, guys, by the way. Um, so the stuff you spray in the toilet before you go smells worse, I think, than the stuff that comes out of your ass.
Wait,
It that stuff,
what
you
stuff?
spray that stuff, that vape, whatever that is, that poopery, that stuff attaches to the bathroom and to your freaking body for the rest of the week. Don't do it. Just freaking suffer from it. It's
Okay.
disgusting.
Good to
It's
know.
worse. I just want you to know that.
Good to know.
I think it's crazy that someone can direct and star in a movie at the same time.
Happens a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it just amazes me that you're directing it and
Yeah.
you are the star.
Well,
Actor.
they use a different, they use an assistant director to do
Mhm.
the directorial duties if the director's acting.
Pretty amazing though.
It is
Still crazy.
amazing.
It's crazy.
Why is tea weird in the United States? Not iced tea, but like hot tea.
I hate it.
What do you hate
Yeah,
about
Well, as we've discussed, I don't like hot drinks,
it?
this is true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
especially ones that taste like plant life.
I will say this, and this might just be a me thing. I think hot tea has a different taste to it than the cold tea. So I just always prefer the cold tea because, like, to me, there's just a taste difference. I don't know why,
But this world
but it might
prefers
be in my
coffee,
head.
is what I'm
Yeah.
getting at. The world
Hmm.
prefers coffee. The United
True.
States, I should say, prefers
No,
coffee.
yeah,
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
all.
it's, the rest of the world prefers the metric system too, and we don't, like it's the same
Very
thing.
true. The Royale with
America.
cheese. The
Yeah.
Royale with cheese. All right. Anyway, not the quarter pounder. So even though like spaghetti sauce can be better at home, like than a restaurant, I feel like a cheeseburger or a hoagie or a submarine sandwich or something is always better out.
I would say so.
Agreed.
The first time I heard the phrase "say less" was from Damian Priest, and he pulled it off.
That was the first time
Yeah,
you
yeah.
heard it.
It was about 3 years ago, but yeah, I hear it all the time now. Not for nothing, on the other hand, is one of the worst phrases I've ever heard in my life. Not for nothing? The fuck does that mean?
I don't like that one.
Ugh,
Yeah.
terrible. So I had we recently were at Outback and I had a steak and I thought it was really salty. But I think the only reason I might have thought it was salty is because I didn't have the bloomin' onion beforehand.
Okay.
Because
I,
that's really salty.
you almost turned into Norm Macdonald right there because I thought you were gonna say, wait, what was say the first line again? And then I'll say the
I
punchline.
re recently had a salty steak at Outback.
And it turns out it's because I put a lot of salt on it.
I didn't put salt on it.
I know, but it
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
the lie.
totally sounded like yeah.
So we got a few more here. It's amazing how out of style and in style a standalone mustache can be.
Mm,
Recently in style, 5 years ago, terribly out of style, right?
yeah.
Not in style at all to me, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I've never eaten a baked potato properly. There's a lot. I get it with the butter, sometimes with the chives, and then sometimes with sour cream, the little bacon bits. I've never mixed it all where I'm not stuck with this boring ass potato at the end of it that I'm not going to eat. And by the way, I turned it over. Don't ever do that. Don't eat a potato somewhere, baked potato somewhere, and eat the skin. That is covered in salt. But yeah, I've never eaten one properly. And finally, when I work out at the gym, I don't sweat, and I feel like I'm going pretty hard.
Hmm.
I see these people in the gym that are freaking soaked, and I don't understand what I'm doing wrong.
It doesn't mean you're doing anything
Yeah, it
wrong.
doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong.
Sweating is your body's cooling system. It's not a display of whether or not you're giving a certain amount of effort or not. It just has to do with body temperature regulation.
That's it, guys. I don't know if you enjoy
Nice.
those
I
observations.
did. I love these. I have one follow up that I didn't just blurt out already. That Ravens Steelers game was fabulous, and
Mhm.
I absolutely love watching Sunday night football games between heated rivals where I don't have any vested interest in my own team. The fourth quarter, and I'm pretty sure with 8 minutes left, there were four touchdowns and two missed kicks in the last
Yeah.
part
It's
of the
crazy.
quarter.
Yeah, it was amazing. Well, yeah, we did text about that. Like that was pretty amazing. But the missed extra point that put them in a position
Yep.
to kick the field goal to win, and the guy that's automatic missing the field goal at 42 yards.
Kicking and punting this year was disgraceful.
That's a lot of pressure. Man, it's a lot of pressure.
It is, but
This guy marches down the field. He's avoiding tackles. He's throwing balls behind his head, and you can't kick the kick that you've been doing your whole life.
yeah.
You probably kicked a 70-yarder in the pregame. Anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Which brings us to artificial eggs, which is was the original better than or was the original better than the new one, or the new one better than the original? So like new shows, new movies, remakes. There could be a lot of different things. New podcasts, new Pepsis, new Cokes. Who knows? So Brian, what do you got?
I'm gonna go for an off the wall version here. That I don't. I'm confident you both probably not seen the first version of, but the originals. Recently, not recently, but a movie that is very popular in my home here is A Star Is Born.
Mm,
Bradley Cooper,
mhm.
Lady Gaga, or as I like to call her, Gaga, because it's funny to me. Uh, Fantastic movie, great movie. Did you guys know there's two versions of A Star Is Born?
I know
Yeah,
there's like a super old one.
Yeah,
yeah.
1937 was the first A Star Is Born. Janet Gaynor and Frederick March star in it. Different kind of premise of it's a girl going to Hollywood to fulfill her dreams, and then meets a down on her luck actor in this. And then 1954 is another version with Judy Garland. And I think that's the one that a lot of people know about is the Judy
Mhm.
Garland version. It's kind of the same thing. She goes to try to meet her fame and fortune, get into singing. I actually watched the other two because I was just intrigued by the thought that there's two other versions of the story because I thought maybe there was a little difference. And I still take the new version. I don't know if it's just the newness of it or the fact that I know Bradley Cooper a little bit more or Gaga, but I just thought that story was more. I'd more invested in that story than the other two movies. So
Yeah.
to me, the new version better than the olds.
I really enjoyed that movie, The Star is Born with Bradley Cooper singing his own music.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's super talented. He worked on that for a long time.
Yeah.
I never saw the originals. I mean, I've obviously know who Judy Garland is, But I never saw the originals, but I really enjoyed that movie. But I can see what you're saying. But it's just, I mean, that's a really old movie. Both of them are really old movies.
Hmm.
I mean,
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
you're always going to be high relate, especially with our age group, even me, because that was even way before my time. Like you're going to relate better to the new one, I think.
Hmm.
Great execution on the topic. I did not see the older ones. I never will. Definitely enjoyed the newer movie, although it's definitely one of those movies where like the sad gets sadder, you
Yeah.
know.
Yes, yes.
I and I do want to just as a quick sidebar on that, as great as Rami Malek was in Bohemian Rhapsody, I still think Bradley Cooper should have won the Oscar for actor that year. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I Rami Malek's a weird one for me because I think that there's a small handful of roles that he is absolutely perfect for and horrendous in everything else. And how do you give an Oscar to somebody where they didn't even do part of the performance of the role? He didn't do the singing.
I gotcha. Yeah, Brad Cooper did the singing.
Yeah,
So what the heck?
And
yeah,
I know you don't like this movie, the Song Sung Blue movie. Like Hugh Jackman did do the singing in that as well. So like, but I did like that movie though, even though he didn't do the singing in the one you
right.
talking
They're still
Yeah,
great. Yeah,
I
still good.
like
It was
it.
still good. Yeah,
That movie was needed. You needed a Freddie Mercury movie.
What a great year, huh?
yeah.
Very good, Bryant. So I've talked about this show on this show before. I've talked about Bel Air. It's a new version of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but it's more serious. It's a drama, not a comedy. There's comedic parts, but it's a drama. And it follows Will Smith, who is from Philadelphia, that gets jumped out there and has to get out of town and goes to his family in Bel-Air for them to raise him. And that is essentially the same story. It's just a little more hardcore, uh, and it's not a half-hour comedy, right? Uncle Phil's different, cousin the Jeffrey's different, the butler. So I was coming. I haven't watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in so long that I was like, I watched Bel-Air and I really like it. I really like it. And I'm thinking, man, is this better than the original? And then I put on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I was at the part where it was I don't remember. It was who Tyra Banks played in it, and they were in the store or and they get into that argument, and then they start arguing, and then they're saying the exact same thing. And man, Will Smith was so freaking funny in that. Uncle Phil was so funny. Carlton. So funny in that. Now, so I'm out on that. I do like the new Bel Air show, but Fresh Prince of Bel Air is not gonna say goat, Matt. The OG of Bel Air.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
even though I do like this new show, then you can't beat Alfonso Rivera and Will Smith and all of them in that. They were hilarious. That was a great show, and it still holds up. I mean, it's silly, but it holds up for me because I watched it when I was younger.
I think that the high comedic moments hold up really well on that show. And he was a little like Jim Carrey-ish in his going overboard with his like whoa and like his sound effects and his facials and his body and his the physical comedy. I really think I don't know if that show gets remembered as well as it should. It was
Yeah,
better than the memory of it.
yeah, and I don't think he had any experience in acting going into that, from what I understand. And he pulled it off, and he obviously became a great
Yeah,
actor from that. And But it's funny, they have a character for all of them in the new one, and it's also different. But it's still very good. It's just, man, I watched that one scene, and I'm like, you know what? Now I remember how much I love this show. So that's uh that's my artificial egg this week. So
I like it.
so what do you got, Matt?
So mine is a song where it pains me to say that the cover is better than the original. It pains me. You could say that it hurts me because Johnny Cash's version of Hurt is really just got to be better than the original, which is actually Nine Inch Nails. I don't even know if everybody knows that. But the original version of Hurt is Trent Reznor. It's a slower song. It is beautiful and haunting, and it is an excellent, excellent song. But I just think it was just made, it exists for that Johnny Cash gravelly voice towards the end of his career, singing about pain. And I feel like most people would probably agree that Johnny Cash's cover is better than the original.
I would say that.
I'm okay with that. I'm not mad at you.
I like it.
Yeah. It
I,
pains me
I
because I'm a huge Nine Inch Nails fan, and
yeah.
you wonder if you're. I mean, listen, this guy's had a tremendously successful career of his own, but I wonder how he feels that maybe another musician's performance of something he wrote is better. That's probably how Bob Dylan feels because every other performance of every one of his songs is better than his own version. And Brian, you'll probably give me the yes or no on this, but I'm pretty sure after Eddie Guerrero suddenly passed away 20 years ago, and they did a little memorial video on the next week's programming, they set it to the Johnny Cash Hurt music, and
They did.
it just made it even more sad.
Took it even more. Yep. Made it even
Yeah.
more. You were
So it's
correct.
funny. Like, I know you guys aren't American Idol fans, but one of the big things on American Idols is it's not karaoke necessarily, but you're singing cover songs a lot of times. Very few times are you listening to originals. And when the year Adam Lambert was on, obviously Adam Lambert's a pretty talented guy, right? We can agree that he's a pretty talented guy. There were times when he would cover these songs, and you're like, I mean, they would say like, you better call you better call him. He might think that's better. There was times when that happens. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. It's something.
Yeah.
But very good, Matt. And that felt like that hurt you, and that's important to me.
Yes.
You felt something.
But it's not just a clever name.
All right, Bryant. Another brown eggs. What is brown eggs, Bryant?
Brown eggs is less talked about moments. And naturally, I am just a wealth of knowledge and I just love talking about stuff like this. So let's rewind the clock here. Let's go back in time. Let's go back to Brad's youth. And of course, we're going to talk about 1916. The Cumberland College in Tennessee had discontinued its football program going into the fall of 1916. And the governing body, as we'll call them, of college football had allowed them to cancel almost all of their football games, except for one game. And this was against Georgia Tech. Now, to say this is out of pettiness, maybe, as the current football coach of Georgia Tech, John Heisman, was also the baseball coach of Georgia Tech. And earlier in the year of 1916, Cumberland College had gone in and beaten his team 22-0. Just drubbed them in baseball. And so come football season, where he is a little more proficient, we'll say, wouldn't let him get out of the deal. They actually paid Cumberland College, much like most colleges do this when they play lower tier schools, paid them $3,000, equates to almost $100,000 in today's money, and told them that if they did not come to play, he would sue them for the $3,000 that they had already paid them, but was also willing to offer them $500 and all expenses paid to come to Atlanta to play this football game.
Big money back then. Big money.
Big money. Now, mind you, they've disbanded their football program. So they task George Allen, who is the captain of the baseball team, to try and drum up a team. Try and see what you can get around the school. Now, Cumberland College is also a law school, so not a lot of people there that are kind of the football type. So he gets about 12 to 16 players. Most of them are fraternity brothers or law students who just want to try to play football. Thought it'd be fun. So on October 7th of 1916, they play this game. Cumberland College goes to Atlanta and they play Georgia Tech, this high-powered team. And to say Cumberland College did not do well is an understatement. Cumberland gets the kickoff, fails to make a first down punch. Georgia Tech takes the ball, scores on the very first play. Cumberland College again gets the ball, punts after 3 downs. Georgia Tech takes the ball down, scores again. At the end of the first quarter, the score was 63-0. Georgia Tech. At the half, it was 126-0. Now, I know what you're saying, but why talk about this game, Bryant? I mean, this is ridiculous. Because it holds the distinction of being the highest scoring game in college football history, not because Cumberland scored, but by how many points Georgia Tech scored, as they scored 222 points in this game. Not ironic in the sense that, Georgia Tech lost 22-0, as the coach would say, had no correlation at all. But yes, they lost 222-0. In this game, Georgia Tech had 32 total touchdowns, 18 extra points. As one sports reporter put it, the most effective play Cumberland had was a play for -6 yards. Cumberland had 15 turnovers, 9 fumbles, 6 interceptions. And most of their plays were either 4th and 20 or more, or 3rd and 20 or more most of the time. They never got one first down the entire game for Cumberland. Basically, it's the craziest game I've heard of because, there was nothing good came out of it. Essentially, their quarterback, unlike today, there's concussion protocols. Their quarterback was knocked out 3 times for concussions and kept going back in because, again, they only brought 16 people. So you got to have 11 out on the field, right? But kept going back in, was knocked out 3 times for concussions. And again, I just want to reiterate, 222-0. It is a score that will never be beat. The NCAA actually put in sanctions to make sure teams do not score over 100 points again. It is very rare. It has happened a couple times in the later years in the 1900s, but no one's going to score 200 points again. Also, to kind of help Cumberland out, they actually shortened the second half. Instead of 15-minute quarters, which is what it is now as well, they actually made it 10-minute quarters, and Georgia Tech still scored 200 points. Still scored an additional 100 points in the second half to destroy this college that obviously never played football again. So, lesser known stories, guys.
I have opinions about this.
Please. I love to hear this. I know Matt doesn't like college football, but
No,
what a classless program to run up the score like that when it was not necessary to begin with. And my worry was what you just said about him being knocked out. These are not athletes anymore. These are guys just doing what they have to do. And him getting knocked out 3 times, the injuries to these guys, in a time where maybe he wasn't taken very seriously at all, classless, just classless.
And mind you, the Georgia Tech players are there to play football. They're training in football consistently. Cumberland is not. Cumberland is
just. If they win 40-0, it's not going to affect anything.
Yeah,
you put your third string in there, you put down a few knees, you get the game over with.
Yep. Yeah.
Scumbags.
So my mind is being blown a little bit because I'm pretty sure when I was young, I had this book of obscure sports facts, and that was one of them. And what triggered it was the 222, that unique number. 222-0. I remember reading about that as a kid. Also, the correlation to the 22-0 is very fascinating to me. And
if you ask the coach, it's no correlation, not a coincidence at all.
How could you land on that? But did you say the coach's name was Heisman?
Heisman, correct.
It the Heisman?
He is. I do not know if it is the Heisman. I think, but would be kind of coincidental if it is.
We need to know.
Don't know any other Heismans, do you? I don't know any Heismans.
No, but and like I said, to have it be such a coincidence of 22, you lose the baseball game 22-0, and then you score 222. And the thing is, the score would have actually been more, except as I said, Cumberland essentially punts every possession. And at the end of the game, it's 4th. I'm trying to make sure I got my number here. It's 4th and 36, and they should be punting what would happen is they would give the ball back to Georgia Tech. They could have obviously scored one more. Instead, Cumberland decided to run a play on 4th down just to run out the clock to end the game. So it would have been more, but Cumberland decided we just need to get out of here while we can. So,
well, that is a less talked about moment.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yep. And by the way, Matt, you are correct. This is who the Heisman Trophy is named after.
After a petty piece of shit.
I am unimpressed right now with him.
Yeah. That's the guy.
Wow.
Maybe I'm judging. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I don't know the whole story.
Well, when you lose a baseball game 22-0, how else are you going to get your revenge? Wait for the next baseball season? Heck,
it should have been 100-0. than like the way that they combated that. But anyway, that's me. Very good, Bryant. I did not know that story. Matt did. So that brings us to the socials. Matt, this has been a very fun show. What do you got?
Well, thanks, listeners. We are Three Eggs Are Better Than One, cooking up every Monday morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Find us on YouTube at Three Eggs Are Better Than One. The number three, the letter R, the number one. Follow us on X, Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok at Three Eggs Are Better. The number three, the letter R. And our individual accounts at YesManBrad, at BRumza. I am at Purple Shirt Guy Without the I. How about some 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts? Please comment on YouTube and engage. Apologies to Boba, we ran out of time. Next week, we've got Bryant. What do you got for us?
So next week, kind of got a small introduction last week. So I'd had this topic kind of circled on my own, and then Brad did a topic about Cap'n Crunch. And I realized, and I remembered, I think I'd started something about this. So next week, we're going to talk cereal, but we're also going to talk cereal mascots and how some of them are normal kind of maybe mascots and how some of them are creepy as hell and why they should never be on a box of cereal. So we're going to talk cereals and mascots for cereal next week. So, and
Look
I hope
forward
my
to that.
eggs will bring their favorite cereals as well to the show. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I still eat cereal. I'm sure Matt doesn't. He probably tries to stay away from
he
cereal
has
and
to stay
cereal
away from it.
products.
So,
I would eat cereal so much more if I didn't try to stay away from it.
that's it.
I mean, even the cereals that are better for you, the first ingredient is like sugar.
It is actually a lot of these. So it makes more sense now. So
Take us home, Bryant.
we thank you guys for joining us this week. We've had a lot of fun, talking about some things that have overstayed. We learned about an interesting football game, and Brad's observations are getting to kind of grow this Matt M dislike list, almost kind of getting those same categories a little bit here. So we thank you for joining us. The egg timer's been set. We'll see you guys next week.
Not for nothing.